Chapter 5, India, a home to many question answers from class 7th, subject Social Science, part 2. The big questions. Question 1. What has made India a home for people from different parts of the world? Answer. India has become a home for people from different parts of the world because of its tradition of tolerance and acceptance, freedom of religion and belief, cultural diversity and openness, moral values like compassion and hospitality. India welcomed people who came for trade, safety, education, or refuge and allowed them to live with dignity. Over time, these communities became part of Indian society. Question 2. Why did oppressed or persecuted people from other countries seek refuge in India? Answer. Oppressed or persecuted people sought refuge in India because they faced religious or political persecution in their home countries. India offered safety, peace, and freedom. Indian rulers generally did not force people to change their religion. Refugees were allowed to practice their culture and traditions freely. Examples include Jews, Parsis, Syriac Christians, Tibetans, and Baha'is. Question 3. What is it about the nature of Indian society that enables people to assimilate here? Answer. Indian society enables people to assimilate because it respects diversity and pluralism, it encourages peaceful coexistence, it allows people to preserve their identity while adapting locally. Indian culture values dialogue, mutual respect, and harmony. This balance of unity in diversity helps newcomers become part of society without losing their roots. Think about it, page 126. Imagine this scenario: a stranger knocks at your door at midnight. It is raining heavily outside, and the stranger seeks shelter for the night, claiming that his car broke down while he was driving in the vicinity. Your family goes into a huddle to discuss the pros and cons of letting a stranger into the house at night. Form two groups to discuss the arguments for and against in this scenario. Answer. Arguments for: it is raining heavily and the person may be in danger. Indian values encourage helping those in need. The stranger may genuinely need help. Hospitality is a moral duty. Arguments against: safety concerns for family members. The stranger's intentions are unknown. Risk of theft or harm. It is late at night. Next, now extend this scenario to a country like India when refugees seek shelter in India. Will similar arguments apply? Answer. Yes, similar arguments apply but on a larger scale. For accepting for accepting for accepting refugees, humanitarian duty, moral responsibility, India's tradition of sheltering the oppressed. Concerns: economic pressure, security issues, resource management. However, India has usually chosen compassion and responsibility while also ensuring security. Let's explore page 128. Look at the two pictures below. Is the place shown in both the photographs the same? Why is the Maharaja of Travancore the name of the kingdom in and around Kochi at that time, giving such an expensive gift to the Jewish synagogue for the Torah, religious book of the Jews? Answer. Yes, both photographs show the same place, the Jewish synagogue in Kochi. The Maharaja of Travancore gave an expensive gift for the Torah because he respected religious freedom. Jews were loyal subjects. The ruler valued peaceful coexistence. It showed royal support and acceptance of the Jewish community. Let's explore page 129. Observe the picture figure 5.4. What clues do you get about the integration of the Jewish community into Indian society over time? Answer. The picture shows Indian style clothing, local customs and lifestyle, simple living similar to Indian families. These clues suggest that Jews adapted to Indian society while maintaining their religious identity, showing successful integration over time. Let's explore page 130. Observe the pictures below. What are the clues you get about the integration of the Syriac Christian community into Indian society? Answer. The wedding ceremony shows Indian style dress and ornaments, local customs in marriage rituals, blending of Christian faith with Indian traditions. This indicates that Syriac Christians adopted Indian culture while preserving their religious beliefs. Think about it, page 131. What do you think dissolving the sugar in the milk without spilling it meant? Answer. Dissolving sugar in milk without spilling it means the Parsis would blend peacefully into Indian society. They would add sweetness without disturbing social harmony. They would respect local customs while keeping their identity. It symbolizes peaceful assimilation. Let's explore page 132. This painting of a Parsi bride getting ready for her wedding shows many aspects of Indian culture. Do any of them seem familiar to you? Based on what you see, can you draw any conclusions about the integration of Parsi culture in India? Answer. The painting shows Indian style jewelry, traditional Indian wedding decorations, familiar gestures and rituals. Conclusion. Parsi culture blended deeply with Indian traditions, showing strong cultural integration while retaining religious uniqueness. Let's explore page 134. What clues do you get about African and Indian cultural integration from the pictures here and above? Identify and name a few features that are distinctly Indian. Answer. Clues from the pictures include Indian style clothing, Indian musical instruments, Indian dance movements, use of local languages, distinctly Indian features, traditional attire, rhythmic dance patterns, group performances. This shows that African origin Siddhis merged their heritage with Indian culture, creating a unique identity. Let's explore page 140. Are there communities in your neighborhood whose ancestors might have come to India centuries ago and made it their home? Have a class discussion on what their experience may have been. Answer. Yes, there are several communities in our neighborhood and nearby regions whose ancestors came to India centuries ago and made it their home. Some examples include Parsis, whose ancestors came from Persia, Muslims of Arab origin, especially along the western coast, Syrian Christians in Kerala, Jews in Mumbai and Kochi, Tibetan refugees in northern India, Africans, Siddhis in parts of Gujarat and Karnataka. Their experiences, they were welcomed and given safety, allowed to practice their religion freely, gradually adopted Indian customs, food, dress and language, lived peacefully with other communities, became part of India's social and cultural fabric. Next, identify similar values in any story or local tradition, etc. known to you. You could ask your guardians or relatives too. Collect these stories and create a class manuscript. You could include illustrations. Answer. My local stories and traditions reflect values similar to those discussed in this chapter, such as hospitality, compassion, tolerance, and unity. Examples of such values: Atithi Devo Bhava, guests are treated like God; Vasudevaya Kutumbakam, the whole world is one family; stories from the Ramayana and Mahabharata that teach kindness and helping strangers; local folk tales where villagers help travelers or refugees; family traditions of offering food and shelter to those in need. Class manuscript, suggested content, short stories collected from guardians or elders, personal experiences of helping others, drawing or illustrations showing hospitality, moral messages at the end of each story. Next, questions and activities. Question 1. On the outline of a world map, try to trace the routes that the communities mentioned in this chapter may have used to reach India. What types of physical geographies did they have to negotiate? Answer. Different communities reached India through land and sea routes depending on their place of origin. Routes used: Jews, Arabs, Syriac Christians, Parsis came mainly by sea routes along the Arabian Sea. Tibetans crossed the Himalayan mountain passes. Africans, Siddhis, were brought by sea routes through the Indian Ocean. Armenians and Baha'is traveled by land routes through West and Central Asia. Polish refugees came by land and sea routes during World War II. Physical geographies they negotiated: mountains, Himalayas, mountain passes, seas and oceans, Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, deserts, parts of West Asia, forests and river plains. Question 2. What are the key values intrinsic to Indian culture that enable it to welcome people of different backgrounds? Answer. Indian culture welcomes people of different backgrounds because of these key values: tolerance and acceptance, religious freedom, respect for diversity, compassion and kindness, Atithi Devo Bhava, guest is God, Vasudevai Kutumbakam, the whole world is one family. These values help people live together peacefully even when they have different beliefs and traditions. Question 3. Homi Bhabha, Sam Manekshaw, Ratan Tata, Fali Nariman, Nani Palkiwala, and Cornelia Saurabji are a few names of Parsis who excelled in their respective fields. Find out more about people from other communities that made India their home and their contributions. Answer. Many people from communities that settled in India made outstanding contributions. Jewish community: Nissim Ezekiel, famous poet and writer; David Sassoon, philanthropist and industrialist; Syrian Christian community: Saint Thomas Christians, spread education and social service; K. M. Mani, public service and education. Tibetan community: Dalai Lama, spiritual leader promoting peace and compassion; Tibetan monks preserved Buddhist knowledge; African Siddhi community; Malik Ambar, skilled military leader and administrator; Hirabhai Lobi, social worker, Padma Shri awardee. Arab origin Muslims, contributed to trade, architecture, culture and education. Question 4. Take up a class project. Divide the class into groups. Each group takes up a small project to study a little more about the communities. Share what you have gathered with your classmates through one of these ways: drama, posters, song, painting, etc. Answer. How to do the project? Divide the class into groups. Each group selects one community such as Parsis, Jews, Syriac Christians, Tibetans, Siddhis, Armenians, Baha'is. Ways to present findings: drama showing their arrival and settlement, posters with maps, pictures and key facts, songs or poems highlighting unity and harmony, paintings or drawings showing cultural blending, short skits or role plays. Way what to include: why they came to India, how India welcomed them, their contributions to society, how they integrated into Indian culture. So friends, we have completed all the question answers from chapter 5, India, a home to many. We have already studied notes and summary of this chapter. You can find the link in the description and on the screen. If you like the video, kindly like, hype the video and share it with your friends. Also subscribe to my channel for more such videos. We will meet in the next video. Thank you for watching.